Yeah. There's an article where a woman said that if her child was ever lost, she instructed her child to go find a large black man. And the reason being,
that actually makes sense.
Right. The reason being, she said, is because 77% of white men are child molesters. Now, I don't know if that fact is actually true.
Right.
But if we're not seen in society as anything relevant other than artists and entertainers, do we have to be their babysitters as well?
That's the question?
That's the question. Do we got a guard dog for them when we can't even get treatment to go into a store without somebody saying, like, you're in Starbucks, and then you get the police called on you? But now we got to turn around and watch their children. Why? Because their own men are sexual predators. What does that say not only about us in the context of how they view us, like just as guard dogs, but what does it say about the men that they breed with?
Yeah, I know for sure it's red flags within that time they was together. It gotta be. But most females got that denial attitude in them, and it depends on their lifestyle too. They got a certain lifestyle. They don't want to lose that shit. So there's a whole lot of shit that could come with that. But come to your question, God damn it.
I mean, if a child came up to you, you would take care of it. Like, you would help.
Yeah.
So that's not the issue. But if the child is instructed just to go find, basically they're saying go find, like, the biggest dog in the yard, the most scariest dog in the yard, so nobody else. Why does that get put on us, but not the mantle of being seen as decent fathers?
That's what I've been wanting to know all my life. And I know a female can't give me that question, that answer off the rip, because they gotta come up with some bullshit they went through, and not in general. They always go through what they've been through personally, and shit. It's like how you was raised, how people was raised. It's like,
we'll find the biggest black man. What?
Yeah.
It's a fucked up question, but it makes sense.
Tell your kids that. I mean, I understand that.
It makes sense, but this is how she worded. Whoever this chick was,
another woman, another lady, or another.
True.
You know
but
what I'm saying? Or either a Mexican or probably just
but a black guy will see what's up.
She made a specific.
I saw a survey about that. Yeah.
Find the biggest black guy.
Yeah, and a black guy.
Yeah, find a large black man.
What?
Yeah.
What is around? What do you do then?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You find the largest guy, or you just give in? It was like why would you say that?
Man, that question is fucking me up, because I never heard that specific largest. Come on now, like, what the fuck? It'd be god damn it.
All right.
It'd be different. It was like, a normal guy, but
no, they're specifically saying
most white guys,
right,
is
so the same man that they lock their car doors for, the same man that they'll walk across the street away from, change sides with their purses.
Yeah.
Now we're entrusted with their children when they're lost.
They know the truth.
Like, seriously, how much sense does that make? So does that speak more to their delusion about what black men actually are? Do they actually know our value and won't admit it?
Value. They just don't want to, give us that credit. They don't want to give us that credit, basically. Period. They know what's up, and it's all how they was raised as well, and it comes down to, like, the honest fucking truth. And the truth is, a black guy will protect the kid automatically.
Right.
That's why they say, that's their kid, that's their child. They'll literally do anything. So that's what they say, go to a biggest black guy, because they know that kid will be safe as fuck.
I think that I have an extra bit of that theory also, is if you see a large black man with a white child, does it look normal? So he immediately has a spotlight on him. Even if he was gonna do something, he couldn't, because we know that the punishment from black to white crime is exponentially higher than it is white to black. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
no, you're right, because it's funny. I saw an episode of Blackish,
uh-huh.
and it was I forgot his name, Dion Cole. Yeah, he came across this white girl on the elevator by herself, just crying, and he left her.
Mm-hmm.
He literally left her, and he came around his friends. I forgot the names, but he came around his friends, and there was a couple of white people around too. There was like, yeah, there was a little white girl just in the elevator by herself. And the other black people said, you left her, right? He was like, hell yeah, I left her, because. And the white people was like, why did you leave her? Like, why the fuck? Put yourself in our shoes.
History, right?
How the fuck would it? Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
What did you do?
Exactly. So that that the penalty is higher if something happens to that child. So you're more, you're on the clock at that point.
They point to us. They probably would have. You know what they do to us? They'll say, it can be a good situation, and as a black man, you can do the good thing, or you can you can choose to not say anything about it. But the news, everything will point to your flaws. Oh well, he used to have a bad background.
Yeah.
Like what? How did all that stem from just me being in the elevator and not helping? All that bringing up my everything that I did. I'm a changed person, but it's always and he was this, or he had a bad criminal history, and like all he did was trying to save somebody, and you pointed the finger. It always went the negative. They always point to the negative all the time. It's never nothing positive.
Right. Well, I find this to be negative. Like, I find this to be that in the context of, first of all, how'd you lose your child?
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand children can get lost, but my kids are glued to me when I'm, especially like airports or theme parks. Your children glued to you. So if your child gets lost, then what does that say about your parenting in the first place? And then why do I have to clean that up?
Yeah, for real.
Again, if a kid came up, you're not going to like deny them, but quite frankly, like if it happens to me, I'm just turning immediately that child into somebody else. Like you said, Kat, why wouldn't she say another woman? Like if mothers are so heralded in society, then why wouldn't you say find another woman? These are the creators of life. These are,
You can't just say find the biggest black man that you can find. You can't just like narrow it down like that, because if it's no black man around, she probably gonna think that, Mom, that wasn't good advice that you gave me.
Right.
Mom, why would you tell me something like that when I've been in situations, or all the black guys that I've seen, all the stuff that I've heard about black people and black stuff? I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not going to call a black guy. I'd rather call someone that looks like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? More than anything. As a kid, they not thinking that this guy may rape me, or this guy may take me.
If you're not
they're
used
looking
to
for
it,
help. They're
right?
looking for help in that sense of moment. They looking for help. Help me, help me. They're not looking for whatever color you are to see if they're in help. Okay, can't go to you. I can't go to you. Bleeding out the side of their neck, or lost a kid, children. Something happened. No clothes on, in the middle of the street or something. Can't find the parents, or just wandering. They're not thinking about that. You know what I mean? That's crazy how they make it all like how they singular it out to just one-sided thing. Like, just find the black guy. Like, it's more other things that you can tell your kid. If you're in trouble, call 911. Shoot, get out there, find another woman, find another lady, find someone that looks like you. Do whatever you can if you have to get away and to get to safety first.
Yeah.
That's the foremost thing you have to do.
Well, you made a good point as far as like, if they don't recognize us in any other context, how could you just run straight to it? You know what I mean? Like if you're not used to us outside of like being athletes or entertainers, then how can you just approach somebody? So are these same people that are telling their kids this, are they out at functions for black people? Are they out at, are they teaching their children that we're not criminals? We're not what you see on video games and, in movies and things like that. Otherwise, can you honestly ask your child to approach somebody that they are indoctrinated to believe is nothing but dangerous?
Yeah, I think they just say we can handle dangerous. I think that's how
a lot of women,
black people,
judge a book by its cover.
They can handle danger. They can handle the pressure. Find someone who can fucking get shot at 9 times and still be alive, or find somebody that, you know what I mean, that's preferably like a superhero kind of. It's basically like find the black dude because he's used to stuff like this. He can help me. He can get you out of this. Like shit, it should be the same way for any other race. Find a Mexican, an Asian person, an Islander. Find whatever type of race, whatever type of, you know what I mean. It should
So
just be one-sided.
Would it have been more palatable if she would have just said, "Find a man of color"? Because if like, I'm just like, I get the 77%.
Yeah, find
I get that.
is way better than I'd rather say that.
Because
More open length to explain different ways to go about it. Like, you just can't find somebody black.
well, you got Aston, you're grinning.
Because women in general, they just dumb as fuck. There's no logic.
Okay.
I just think off of fucking emotions, god damn it. And that's the funny part about that shit is, they just, when things happen to them, they get all dramatic and they want somebody to help them so they can have an open hand. It's like, bitch, how about you work? Do what you have to do, just like us men, god damn it.
Why's your kid out?
Yeah, another reason why I ain't having no kids.
Yeah,
I'm 34 years old, no kids.
People who have their kids out is the motherfuckers
No
sit
kids.
in the house like we know, doing drugs in the house, doing drugs in the car, doing drugs. Like we know, you get your badass kids out the street. You got your
Yeah.
kids running around this motherfucker because you in there harder than motherfucker.
Most,
What the
yeah.
fuck? That's the reason why kids become gone, or some just want to run away. If it's an infant that's wandering out the house, you know what I mean?
Or fucking leaving them in a car to fucking die. That's
Well, there are different instances. You know what I'm saying? There are different instances. If the door is unlocked and the kid go outside, just going outside, he's like, hey, don't go out there. And they just going outside, want to go play. You wind up catching them down the street or something. Like, hey, get your ass in the house. But if your kid just wandering around, don't even know where he at, looking for his mom and daddy, like, and then you just over here fucking around, and then tell them go find the big. If you ever get lost, find the biggest black person that you can find. If you ever get lost, what the fuck? You shouldn't get lost.
Shouldn't get lost at
Cause
all.
I never lost my kids. Shoot, they may try to lose me. You lose
Right,
me.
right,
Shoot,
right.
Like, let me out with my dad right quick. But you know what
You
I mean?
at
It's
the
never
house, though.
been. And it's always been at my house. So it's, you know what I mean. So I know where my kids is at. I keep a close eye on them. You don't
Right.
go past where I tell you to go, and I'm always outside watching you while I'm there.
once you have
know?
kids,
I'm looking
that's
at you
your
while
life,
you're playing.
period.
It is, yeah, it is. I mean,
yeah, fuck your life. It's all about them now. So
Mhm.
basically, you got to do whatever it takes to protect them and provide for them. So your life is pretty much fucked. You basically sacrificed your life to have kids, to teach them and to give them what you didn't have. So, they can do the same thing. Generational shit.
I feel it. All right, gentlemen. I appreciate your time. I'll let you get back to.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I came across an article, and it was this woman basically saying that if her child were ever lost, that child should go and find the biggest, blackest man that it can find. What are your thoughts on that?
Possibly, yeah. Some people, look out, even though the kid's not theirs, they want to make sure that child's protected. They don't want
Right.
to happen to that child. But society got it where the big black person's the evil person. They're going to do this and do that to them.
Right.
But it's actually the opposite. You go knock on a black person's door, are they going to shoot you out of fear? No, they just want to know what you want.
Right.
So, yeah, I'll agree, yeah.
So part of her argument was that, and I said this wrong on when I was interviewing the other guys, but it's 77% of child molesters are white. So what does that say not only about how black men are depicted, because to your point, we're seen as big and bad, so we're scary in one sense, but not scary enough to not have your children protected by. But then what does it say about the men that they're mating with, if that's a possibility, if it's a higher probability?
Could be. Depends how the way they conduct themselves.
I mean, do you think as black men we're beholden to have to watch over, like, be the ones that are now guard dogs for people's lost children? I mean, first and foremost, my question was, why is your child lost? My kids were always stuck to me. You know what I mean? And it happens, but I agree. Like, you would take care of a small child that came up to you, but isn't it strange that we're the same people that can be called the police on for sitting in Starbucks too long? You know what I mean? Like, where's the respect in that? Because there's still not a respectable factor to say these are honorable men. We're still looked at as absentee fathers. We're looked at as deadbeats. We're looked at in all of these other contexts until it comes to what they need. So is there a delusion on their end as to what we really are, or are they just in denial?
I think it's denial, because how the way society we're picked as society. Say, like you watch the black exploitation movies,
Right.
we're pimps and drug dealers.
Facts.
Where in reality, we're not.
Facts.
So we're not none of that stuff. It's just like what you see on TV. What do you see on TV? You see, like when you watch the news, something happened in like inner city. The same thing happens in a rich place too, except it's just not being reported.
Right. Right.
It's denial. Possibly it could be delusional and denial both. So
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think it's hard for people to actually unlearn a lot of things. So, for instance, 70% of black men are active in their children's lives on a daily
Exactly.
basis, which is the highest of all demographics, ethnicities. But nobody knows that. We're still the ones who don't raise our kids and everything else like that. So I don't even know if that woman knew that. She happened to know the statistic on child molesting, which is fine. And one of the things that Cap pointed out last night, he said, why didn't she say to go find another woman? Like, why wouldn't a child go to a woman? So we see women are held up as mothers and they're the bringers of life and the nurturers and all this and that. Why wouldn't you instruct your child to go find another woman?
they just want to. Because maybe why would they do that? They're not taught. That's all I can think of. They're not taught.
So how easy do you think it would be for like a small child who's not introduced either way? Say it's, a black child who'd never really been around white people, like it, and we said go find a white person. How easy would it be for a child to go and approach somebody that they're not even familiar with, that they're not taught to see as respected?
Yeah, that's a tough one to find.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like at this point you're just pointing out, just saying like go to a policeman. So they're just taught to look for a badge. In this case, they're just taught to look for dark skin and size. So does that really garner respect to the position? At least with police, it's an oath. With us, we're not beholden to have to watch other people. Now, again, I would certainly be the first one to say like, let's take care of this kid. But what does that say about society when now that's what we're assigned as? We're assigned as, your guard dog.
It's not easy. So I could say they got us, like I say, we're this, that, we're everything negative, nothing positive.
Right.
So in order for them to see that positive side, they gotta, they just have to just go to places to find out.
Facts.
You just can't see on TV, okay, well, Denzel Washington, that's a good dude, so I'm gonna put my kid to him. So he's a role
Right.
model.
Right.
Okay. This guy over here, he works hard. He's my neighbor. That's a good role model. Soccer dad, he works hard. Provides for his family. You just can't go by, somebody on TV. That person don't know you.
Exactly. Athletes and entertainers
Yeah.
we should not be taking cues from. The other point
Even
that
Charles Barkley said one time, "I'm not your role model. Your parents are your role model, not me."
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I had said to like quell that is like if you're going to say find large black men or things like that, then you should be educating in your home that black men or black families aren't your enemies. We're not
Exactly.
dangerous. Are you bringing them to marches, functions? Are you showing them in a light other than, again, athlete, entertainer, or if there's, a real emergency, go find one.
Exactly.
But other than that, then we'll always be seen as disposable in my estimation. because then it's like, oh, thanks for helping us, and where does it go from there? Do you extend, you know, do you bond with that person? Do you form a friendship with that person because they essentially saved your child from, you know, possible harm?
Exactly.
But, or is it just thanks and you just go back to your side of town?
You should be able to build a form of bond with that person. Connect with them, because that's the only way you're gonna know how great somebody's culture is.
Right.
By connecting with them. It's like you see all this other stuff. For instance, I used to have back at home. I had a lot of Asian friends. You know, back at home when I was younger, you was always, oh no, watch out, they know karate and blah blah and they're dirty and all that. But once I started knowing, I had my best friend was Asian. Once I started knowing him, he was cool. He wasn't what other kids in the neighborhood were saying.
Right.
So you know, you got to form a bond and friendship with everybody. You know, that's the only way you can understand somebody's culture. Yeah, you know, like they got Muslims saying, oh no, they're evil and all this. They'll torture you. Okay, well, you know. You go form a bond with them. You see, they're totally different people.
Exactly. Agreed.
So you know, culture thing. You gotta learn everybody's culture. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So how tall are you? You're what, 6'2"?
6'1.5".
And how much you weigh?
230.
So you're a large black man. So how do you feel particularly? Because I don't come close to your size, but you're what they're going to be looking for. So does this sit right with you, or are you good with that?
I'm good with it. You know, like, you know, some kids came up to me, asked me for help. Yeah, little white kids, you know, little Mexican kids. They came up to me, asked me for help for something. You know, hey, you got a wrench in your car I can use? You fix my bike tire? Oh yeah, here you go, man.
Right.
Oh, thanks, man. All right. So you know. Just like, you know, just gotta be friendly, you know.
Yeah, I think I think it sits deeper with a lot of people, especially kids. Kids are perceptive and they see that we're non-threatening in a lot of ways. Because I do get a lot of kids coming up and talking to me as well, and it's only until that fear is taught into them.
Exactly.
So yeah, I agree, and I would have no issue with it either, even though I'm much smaller. So
you can get my size eventually.
Right, man. All right, man. I appreciate your time. And any final words? Any shout outs to anyone?
I know my family's gonna see this. I'm gonna let you guys know. So hey, what's up?
All right, all right, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
Later.